Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So I am back with yet another part of coloring this picture in The Wizard of Oz by Fabiana Attanasio, and I really want to finish this picture in this part because we do not have very much to go, but you know, fingers and toes crossed that it'll only be this one more part because I feel like this has been stretched out long enough. Not that I'm not enjoying the picture, but this has gone on far too long. Okay, so anyway, as you can see, some things have happened since we left off. I have done majority of Mr. Lion's fur, his mane and his tail, mostly because I could not decide whether I wanted to do super tips or pencil or ink tinsel gouache for his fur, and then I finally decided to hell with it. I'm just going to use the Black Widow pencils and come up with some colors, and that's what I did. And I'm going to kick the video off with us finishing this bottom part of his mane. So I will zoom you in a little bit more, maybe righty-roo. So to take the glare off, so you can see it up close, that's pretty much what it is looking like. Oh, M and a capital G. I started coughing. I had to take a break, y'all. Okay, so let's zoom in. Oh my goodness, that was so, like, unexpected. I feel like it congested my nose just now coughing. What in the world? Okay. So we're going to complete, sorry if I sound stuffy now. I don't know how that just happened. We're going to go ahead and do this part of his mane. And so I'm using the Black Widows, and I will list these colors in the description box below for you so that you can do this yourself if you would like to give it a go, or you just like the color combination. So I'm going to start off with olive brown, and this is from the dark skin tone of the Black Widows. And we're just going to, let me make sure I'm in frame. Okay, so we're just going to flick our pencil down in a flicking motion, and this is our first color. And you know, kind of long strokes, short strokes. You can flick up in the, you want to try to go in the direction of which the artist drew the fur, because that acts as a guideline, so it's not all over the place going different directions. So it's very helpful that they do guide us a bit. So I just do both. I flick up and I flick down, and that's pretty much the base color, if you can see that. The next color I use is dark tan, and dark tan is from the Scorpion set of the Black Widows. And I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to just go ahead and flick down and flick up both directions to fill out his mane so that we can have our nice hair strokes in there. By the way, hope everyone's doing okay, or as well as you can. Forgot to do that. I'm a Rudy Huxtable, just talking. Straight talking, get to the point. Because I really want to finish this picture in this video, so we shall see if time is on our side. Next color I will use is Rattlesnake by the Cobra set, one of my favorite colors. And again, we're going to go ahead, do the same thing, flick up, flick down. So you're just going with a flicking motion to add his furs in. So if I'm not as talkative in this video, I'm just trying to get this picture completed. So excuse me for not being a chatty Cathy if I end up not being one. Alrighty-roo. So we have that color down. And that's what that looks like. I love that because it adds kind of like a reddish color to it. Okay, so after Rattlesnake, I then take Brown Bug. And this is Brown Bug. It's a part of the Scorpion set as well. And this adds like a really nice red. And that's how I got like the red, a lot of the red tones in his fur. Mane. I keep saying fur. I mean, it is fur, but it's called a mane. Anywho, we're just going to go ahead and incorporate this color in the mane as well. Flicking up, flicking down. That's all you're doing. Nothing to it really. Because I used to find that it's really complicated and hard to do the flicks. And I just had to relax my wrist and let it go. and stop thinking about it too hard, and I'm able to do it. So there we go. And the last color that we will add is Mud, and this is from the dark tone set of the Black Widows as well. And we will go ahead and have to kind of do this with a firmer hand because we've had a couple of layers of pencil in there, and I kind of want it dark, like at the root where it's coming out. We're just going to go ahead and flick Mud up and down his mane so we can get the color in there, and it can be represented in his colors. And that's pretty much all you do to do his mane. So I'll lean it up because of the glare. So that's pretty much what it's going to look like, more or less. I'll zoom you out so that you can see. So yeah, that's more or less what his mane will look like. So I don't really care about going outside the lines because, I mean, I don't really like those dark lines anyway, but I'm not going to go over them with anything. I'm just going to leave them and they'll just be there. So what I would like to accomplish next in the picture is go over his straw hat here. So I'm going to zoom you in. And with his straw hat, I'm going to use my super tips. And I chose 3 colors. I chose a yellow, a light brown, kind of tan, and a dark brown. And I want to use the super tips because, like I always say, or I have been saying, or you've noticed me saying, that they kind of add a bit of texture to things that you're doing. And so I first want to base this wheat and make that yellow because I did almost forget about that. I remember I was like, I'm going to leave that out. I remember I said that in the last video or one of these parts. But so for the hat, what I'm going to do is just go ahead and make like some diagonal lines and both ways, you know, just put the yellow in there. And that's all I'm doing. Just real messy like, because, you know, it's straw. It's not supposed to be neat. So I'm just going diagonally both ways, up and down, whatever. Just putting the yellow in, and I'll hold it up so that you can see what I did. If you can't see, oh no, you can see pretty good. So that's pretty much what I did. And then I'm going to take this lighter color. So if you aren't using super tips, I don't think you should fret because I feel like you could probably use whatever you want to do this. Pencils, maybe not marker, unless you don't care about the image on the opposite side. But yeah, you could pretty much do this with pencils as well. I'm just going, you know, making it stick out because it's a straw hat. I want it messy. So I'm just making lines, you know, there's no method to it really. Kind of diagonal, kind of vertical, kind of just going wherever. I want something to stick out. I'll probably have to add those back in simply because once I do the background, they may get lost in it because the background I'm going to do with Neo Color too, and it's going to reactivate the super tips in a way. So it may like take these lines out. But we can always add them back in. And so now I'm going to come in with my darkest brown color and just make some more lines on top of it. And like I said, I want it to be in a disarray, kind of messy, just, you know, all over the place making lines because it's straw and, you know, it's not supposed to be super neat. It's supposed to be all over the place. And we're just going to do that. And so for his hands, I want to do the same thing. So I'm going to take my lightest brown that we used in his hat, and I'm going to go ahead and make, like, you probably will not be able to see this light brown, but make some straw come out of his hand right here on both sides, and then kind of like his legs. Like, you don't have to do this, but I just think, you know, it's kind of cool. It adds a bit extra to the picture because he is a straw man. Oh, you guys didn't see. I'm talking about down here. So I took the light brown and did it. And so now I take the dark brown and do the extra little straw bits coming out of him because I think it'll be cool to have it. And then we'll come back up to his hands, do the same thing. I don't know how it'll be seen because, you know, he blends in with the line a bit. So I'll do his hands. And let me go ahead and take the dark brown and do his nose because we did not do that. It looks like he has a booger. Oh no, can I wipe that? It kind of went down too far. Oh no, let's kind of go over that a little bit more. Like, I don't want him to have a booger. Okay, so that's pretty much what I want his hat to look like. I just want it to look like hay, straw, hay, whatever. I don't want it to look neat and uniform. If you want to do that, you can. And you probably could use some of the same colors that we used in his head. Or you can go darker, or you can go lighter. But I really want the straw effect to look messy and whatnot. So that's his hands and the hat, his nose and his legs. And we will focus that because it kind of went out of focus. So here with Dorothy, and I'll zoom you out so you can see, I went ahead and used my white gel pen and Posca to white out the design that was in her dress because I didn't want it to show through the washi tape, and I used washi tape. I picked out a blue because her dress is normally blue, and I think the yellow will kind of go with the scarecrow and this leaf that I did, and the leaves that we did. And the red, because it kind of matches the watermelon leaves that we did at the top, and it kind of matches the red that's in the lion's mane. So I chose this washi tape, and I happen to have a really good color combination in this one. And I went ahead and put that down because I wanted her dress to have a pattern, and I didn't want to draw the pattern, and I didn't necessarily like the pattern that Fabiana drew down there. So I just went ahead and went over it with the washi tape. And I took a light blue super tip marker and just went around the edges of it to fill in any tiny white spaces that I left out. That's a tip that I forgot to leave in my washi tape video. And if you would like to know how to use washi tape in your color books, I do have a video on my channel for you to click if you would like to learn how to do so. And I also took this light blue and colored in her sleeve. So tilt it up so you can see. And so now I will find some black widows that I can match with her sleeve, because we want to go ahead and finish up her sleeve, because I just used the super tip as a base. So I'm just looking through my pencil swatches to find a good color. And I think I want to use Aquarius and Forget Me Not. So Aquarius is in the cobras. So give me a second while I look for that. Where is Aquarius? This is Aquarius. And then we want Forget Me Not in the Black Widows, which I think is this one. Nope, that's not it. Here we go. Okay, so for her sleeve, I'm going to use Aquarius as my darkest color, and then Forget Me Not as the lightest color. And this is from the Cobra set, this is from the Black Widow set, and again, I'll try to list all the pencils that I'm using in the description box below. Sorry if that glare is like hurting your eyes. Maybe we can, I don't know. I can't really do much about it, y'all. I'm sorry, it's my setup at the moment. So what I'm going to do is take Aquarius, and I really love this blue. It's one of my favorites in the Black Widow sets. So I'm going to take Aquarius. Maybe I'll zoom you in a little bit. So we're going to take Aquarius and go ahead and darken up her sleeve and the outer edges of her sleeve. And we're just going to do like a rounded shape so that it looks, you know, more dimensional. And even this part right here. And then this sleeve all the way, we're going to darken that extra sleeve that's hiding back here. And then the bodice of her dress under her. So if you can see that, that's where we added the darkest. Let me go over right where her hair is to go ahead and darken that part. So the super tips work really well as a base we can get down. So then I'm going to take the Forget Me Not, you can see that, and go ahead and shade over everything because it's our lightest color that we're using. So if you're following along with me on this picture, I really hope you have been enjoying it, or even if you're coloring this picture your own way, but you know, you chose it because I was coloring it. I hope you're having a lot of fun, because I really have been enjoying this picture. I'm glad that I felt for it again, because it has sat and sat and sat, and I felt so bad about it. And I really want to get a picture completed in this book, because ever since I was gifted it, I wanted to finish a picture. And I was just, had to get around to it, I guess, and feel for the picture again. Because I don't want to mess it up. Because I have a tendency of doing that when I'm not feeling a picture. Okay, so that is what her sleeve will look like, more or less, there. I'm going to blend out this dark blue a little bit more, so just do a little bit more blending this out. Okay, so I think that is really good. And so what we want to do now, I feel, is move on down to this leaf. I gotta remember to leave my pencils right here, because I gotta put them in the description box, and I feel like if I put them back, I'll forget. So I'm going to take my yellow super tip and base this leaf the same as I did this one. Sorry if I keep clearing my throat. I don't know where that came from, y'all. I had to cough really bad. And like, that ever happens. You get a cough attack out of nowhere. I'm like, what in the world is going on here? I know I'm nowhere near getting sick, so I don't know what that was about. Okay, so we just want to get that yellow down. And you don't have to do these leaves yellow. But like I told y'all, I run out of inspiration for leaves, and so I need help. And I just was like, you know what? These are going to be yellow. Yellow and brown, and I'm going to leave it at that, because I did not feel like sitting here thinking of some brilliant leaf combinations. Sorry, I'm just looking through my pencils because I had them all out. Okay, and I had this one too, I think. Is this yellow sand? Yes. Okay, so I used 3 pencils to do this color combination here on this leaf. It might not look like it, but it did. And they will be dark chocolate in the scorpion set, dark tan in the scorpion set, and yellow sand in the scorpion set, if you can see those. And I'm going to start with dark chocolate, and I make it darker right here at like the base of the leaf where the stem is, if that makes sense. And I just go through each leaf and do that. And I'm gonna make it darker at the bottom here, darker here, and darker up here, and around the bottom. I can't believe that it's January 30th, like, well, what, is it the 31st now? Because I think it's after midnight. I can't believe, like, we're already done with January. It's so crazy. Time is, like, flying. Why? I don't understand. Okay, so we're going to do that with dark chocolate. And so now we're going to take dark tan, because that's our second to last color, and go over everything and bring that out in the leaf a bit. Just make sure it's represented. I was going for kind of gold, but not kind of. If that makes sense. It doesn't. That didn't even make sense when I just said it. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I didn't want gold per se, because I know how to do gold, but I wanted it like a goldeny yellow leaf. Alright, so now I will take yellow sand, that's our last color, and go over everything in the little leaf compartment. If you enjoy leaves, let me know. Why do you like to color leaves and flowers? Do you find it relaxing? Do you feel like you don't have to think as much? Because y'all know I cannot stand to sit and do these a bunch. And I'm always, like, my ears perk up when people are like, I love flowers and leaves coloring. I'm like, wow, bless you. Okay, so here's dark chocolate, which is our darkest color. And I just went along the stem toward the back of the leaf, I guess, and then like brought the color in between the leaf, like each compartment. I'm not really trying to blend it or anything, but I just want, you know, some of the brown in it represented a bit. I'm gonna go around it a little bit. I don't think I did that on the other leaf, but we can always fix that. I'm just trying something out just to see if I like it, you know, experimenting. So let me try that on this leaf and see if I like it the same. Just put in the dark chocolate, bring it out more into the other parts of the outer part of the leaf, just to see, you know, because I'm going to use super tips to add more grass and stuff, so I'm not really concerned about if it comes out kind of funny. So that's what they look like. And I need to do the lion's ear. So I'm going to take a light pink super tip. Let's see, can I use this one? Yes, I'm just going to take this color super tip and do the lion's ear. I'm going to zoom you out so you can see. And we'll use this as a little base for his little ear. And the inside. Get that colored in. Kind of matches our watermelon leaves that we did at the top. And I cannot provide you with the names of the super tips because they don't come with names, unfortunately. So I'm so sorry about that. And so the only thing left really in this picture is that we have to do the background. And then I want to add some extra grass growing from down here and up at the top. And we'll do that with super tips. I'll do Toto's nose and her shoes and socks and her bow. But that will be like glitter gel pen. But I want to get the background done. So I will return with my Neocolor 2 so that we can get the background done. Okay, I'm going to zoom you in a little bit. So I was sitting here staring at my color swatches in my book. And I was like, which colors do I want to use? And I really like emerald green. But I feel like emerald green may not be the best color. Like it might be too bright. And then I was looking at olive and light olive. And I think I kind of don't want to go with olive because I don't want my scarecrow guy to get lost. So I'm thinking I am going to do emerald because I think it'll be really vivid. And we're going to go with emerald green and yellow green. I have the 30 set of Neocolor 2, which are water soluble crayons, if you don't know. So you put water on them and they get activated. And we will use the emerald and the yellow green because I don't want my scarecrow to get lost in translation. Lost in translation. Anyone ever see that movie? I saw that movie and I don't remember what it was about, so that just means that it was not memorable for me. Okay. So with the light green, I'm going to do the light green around the lion, like just a closest in, if that makes any sense. So around the lion, and then we'll do the darker green on the outer part of the picture. And we're just going to go ahead and make sure we get the light green down. I don't want it to make it stop at a certain point, so I'm trying to like make sure that it's coming out in a good way to make sense. Uh-oh, is that not staying down? Oh, and I forgot to say I use super tips for this leaf and this leaf. Because y'all know I was not about that life. Not today. Alright, so we're just gonna go around and get the light green going around the lion. And I'm kind of using a heavy hand. I mean, it really doesn't matter, but I like to use a heavy hand because I don't like to do hundreds of layers of Neocolor 2. So, you know, just gonna go ahead and put this color down. And I mostly just want it around the line with the light green because I think it'll look cool. And then you know, we mix it together and it'll all blend together. But if you don't have Neocolor too, you could do this with watercolor paint. You could do this with ink tints. I started to use my ink tints, but I want to use my Neocolor too simply because I have more of a lackadaisical time with my Neocolor too. I don't have to rush. With ink tints, I feel like I have to rush to put the water down to make sure everything blends. That's just me, not saying that's facts, but I mean my experience. That's how I feel. I really hope this green ends up looking right, y'all. I'm kind of nervous, but ain't nothing to it but to do it. That's what I always say, you know? I should have worked for Nike. I feel like I should have came up with just do it. Okay, so now I'm going to take the emerald green and put my emerald green down. I'm really nervous about his hat being lost because it's a water. Once we put the water, it's going to kind of make the straw points from the super tips kind of go away. And I need to do his fingers, I know. So I'm just going to try to get the Neocolor down here in between all this fun little fiddly stuff down here. I'm not really worried because once we get the water brush going, we can come in between all of this anyway. And it won't matter too much. Okay, let's do right here so it can blend in some. And let's get back to the top. So what's so funny is Neocolor 2 looks so ugly like when you're doing this. And I've had my scares where I'm so nervous. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to be so ugly. And then, you know, I just work with it and I end up making something happen. I end up making $1 out of 15 cents some kind of way. That's the saying we have, trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. I don't know if it's in other countries, but we say it. Basically making something happen out of nothing is what it means. If you're like, what is she talking about? Okay. So just going around, putting my emerald. This reminds me of, like, you know, when you're a little kid, like kindergarten and stuff, and how you used to color different ways. And my mom actually taught me you should color the same, in the same direction. You know, because we used to color a lot. I used to always love to color and draw my whole life, actually. And we used to do color by numbers. Now I don't think I'll ever do color by number because it's just not my thing. But I know that's like been a kind of surge in that kind of stuff for adults now, along with, you know, coloring books, regular coloring books. And I think it's cool, but I don't think that's for me because I'm more into like shading and all that stuff now. But when I was little, color by numbers and paint by numbers was my jam. I had a Looney Tunes one. I remember my mom and I used to sit in the bed and do that one. And oddly, I specifically remember us doing a Daffy Duck one. I do not know why, but for some reason, I remember Daffy Duck being a paint by number. Okay, so that is pretty much what the colors are going to look like now. I may have to come and add more, but I'm going to leave that for right now. And I think I'm sitting on my water brush. So this is my water brush. I know what I don't have. I do not have a paper towel. Hold on, y'all. I gotta go get a paper towel. Okay, I have my paper towel. For some reason, I just wanted to quote Finding Nemo when he's like, find your exit buddy. Do you have your exit buddy? I have my paper towel. Okay, so don't mind me. I know Finding Nemo, like line for line, is one of my favorite little movies. Disney movies. And I cried one time at the end, and I had seen Nemo 100 times, and then one day it just got me when at the end when he's reunited with his dad, when he's off to school and he forgets to hug his dad, he comes back and he's like, "I love you, Dad," and they hug. I don't know, it got me one day. I don't know, and I've seen it a million times. Anyway, I'm gonna take my water brush, and I'm gonna start with my light green and work in a circular motion to get my green going. I'm gonna try not to touch my straw hat with my scarecrow so much, because I don't want to mess that up. But yeah, I looked at this video about why do we cry, and they really don't know why we cry. We're the only animals that cry because of an emotion, like type of thing. Because this man was cutting onions and his cat was nearby, and the cat started crying. And I was like, what in the world? And the cat like legit was crying. And you know, he wasn't crying because he was in pain or anything, you know, just because of the onions. And so, you know, that's why they were like, we're the only species that cry for emotion reasons and or help. Like babies cry, because they did this whole evolutionary thing about we used to cry because we wanted help. Like it was our way of saying we need help with something. And I was like, really? That's interesting. And they were like, the average woman in the Western countries, like I think United States actually, they said the average woman cries 2 to 4 times a month, while the average man only cries once every couple of months. And I was like, 2 to 4 times a month to cry is very interesting to me, because I do not cry that often. I just think if you probably had a rough couple of months, then yeah, you probably would cry that much. But I don't think those statistics are right. I mean, I'm sure they did do a good average, but that just sounds kind of absurd to me. 2 to 4 times a month. I don't even cry that much sometimes in a year. So I'm like, I don't know. But I do cry. I'm not saying like I'm some hard person that never cries. I do get emotional, but they were also going through like triggers. Like some people cry when they see other people cry, or you know, if you feel empathy from that wasn't true. It's the more developed countries where we cry more. And I was like, wow, that just looks sad. When you think about it, I'm like, oh my gosh, why are we so sad? Or why are we so cryy? Why are we so cryy? Alright, so I'm just trying to blend in. So Emerald is not looking as bad as I thought it was. I really thought it was going to take away from the whole picture, and I feel like it's not doing that as much as I thought it was going to, but we'll see once I'm all the way done. And I'm trying not to touch the super tips too much because, you know, it reactivates it and it'll smear it, and that's not what I want to do. But I've been appreciating all of you guys' comments. Again, y'all are so nice. I truly appreciate it. And people are like, can't wait to see more of you. I'm like, how much more of me do y'all want? I think I'm boring. And I'm like, how much more of me do y'all want, really? People who are around me all the time are probably like, yes, take her away. We need a break. And y'all are like, more. I just think it's funny. Okay, so we're going to work on this side. Maybe I should zoom in. Oh, wait, that's out. Zoom in a little bit so you can see. But it's just a water brush. I'm just going in a circular motion and just applying the water. I'm not squeezing it or anything because the water works its way to the brush tip by itself. Alright. So we just want to make sure getting that together. So to blend this in, I kind of like drag the color around and then get it how I want it to be. Like, you can add more water to water it down and blend it in more, so it doesn't look, you know, like it's cut off or odd. You just got to play around with it sometimes, you know, till you can figure out how you want it to look. And I'm no expert by any means on nail color too. I just go by how I think I want stuff to look. So I can go over this because this is pencil, so just blending this in. And it helps to wipe it off on the napkin because it helps the colors not muddle up so much, if that makes sense. So we're over here now. I can zoom out a little bit. I hope my video did not cut off at the part I was talking and it's going to sound awkward and choppy, because my video cuts off around like 30 something minutes, but I haven't timed it to where I know exactly where it cuts off. And sometimes I'm talking and it'll cut it off, and like when I go to do the little bit of editing that I do, I can't make it be seamless. Seamless transition, because it freaking cut me off. My phone is a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer half of the time. Okay. So I'm just blending. That's all we're doing. I'm gonna squeeze a little bit of water out. So I have not encountered a problem using water media on this paper, any media on this paper. I've not tried my polychromos though, so, but I've tried a lot of other things, and I'm always good to go, thankfully. Making sure I get that. So yeah, I'm happy I did go with emerald and not olive. I was so worried about this emerald drowning out overtaking the picture. Actually, not drowning out, but overtaking everything. But I think it's going to work out pretty good. Alright, I think we can finish this in this video, you guys. Fingers and toes still crossed that we can finish it and it won't drag on for a million billion parts, because I personally hate that. Alright, so it's looking like I have what I want. And I'll tilt it up here in a second. Just making sure. I'm just blending it out how I want. And I'm actually going to take the tip of emerald, because that's something I like to do as well to help my nail color to blend. Instead of straight coloring on the paper, I take my water brush pen and I grab some pigment straight from the pencil from the crayon, and just blend it. And it really helps it blend better when you do that for the colors you're using. A tip that I've discovered, it works for me. Like, see, that already looks so much better blending it, because it was a bit different before I did that. Alrighty, that's good to me. So I will hold it up for you so you can see. So that's what it's looking like, and I will be back with my glitter gel pens and the finishing touches. So give me 1 second to grab that and I'll be right back. Okay, y'all, I am back. Please don't be mad at me, because y'all know I don't have a lot of memory on my phone, so I probably have like 5 minutes maybe to finish this. So what I did was I used the brown glitter gel pen to color his neck, this part of his hands, And I went around and did a bunch of grass around the picture, as you can see, with the super tip marker. So all I do is take a super tip. I'm using this dark green, and I'll do a bit more grass maybe down here. So I just swipe my super tip, make little grasses, nothing, you know, too fancy or crazy, just making a little grass. And that's pretty much how I did that. And I just went around, as you can see, the whole picture, like I said, to really make it look like a jungle. I used my Uniball Signo silver metallic pen to do Dorothy's shoes, because I'm making them silver because in the original story they are silver. I took super tips and a light green, just dabbed around his shorts to do the polka dots. And the only thing that we have left to do are her bows and her socks and whatnot. So I'm going to take a white jelly roll pen, and I'm just going to go ahead and cover this lace part of her dress, the outline of it, because I'm going to leave that white, and I'm going to do her little socks the same. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Sorry y'all if you feel like you missed out, but not really, because I'm showing you what I'm doing. But blame my phone for not having memory. It's not my fault. I'm going to take a blue glitter gel pen, color her bows in. So I kept to my promise. I feel like we finished this picture mostly on film, barring the parts that I started months ago that I have no clue about what colors and stuff I used. So I'm just going to go ahead, color her little bows, and I'm just going to go ahead and color in this design that Fabiana drew on her sleeve with the gel pen as well, because it can be glittery. And last but not least, I'm going to take some stickles, which is basically a liquid glitter, and I'm going to use the color in crystal. Let's see if I can focus that. No, it's crystal, if you can see. And I'm going to put it on her shoes because the other page just has water picture on it, and I'm pretty sure that I don't need to color over that with anything. I probably will use Inktense or Nail Color 2 for it, so I'm not fussed about having it have a little texture on it. And that is it. We have finished our picture. So let me zoom you out a bit. And I'm super happy to have finished it on film. So there you go. You can see the stickles on her shoes, because y'all know I gotta throw some stickles and some glitter gel pen on something somewhere. But yes, this is the final result of our picture. If you colored along, I hope you have fun. Hope you enjoyed. And if you're going to try out some of the color combinations, again, I will leave all the Black Widow colors in the description box below, so that you can try some of the color combinations on this picture or any other picture that you feel free to do. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video.